So friends, we read in the scriptures that a merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. This is in Proverbs 17:22. Now remember, Proverbs was written at the time of Solomon and King David, King David, then Solomon, and that was about 900 BC. So 2009, nearly 3,000 years ago, this was written down. So let's have a look at what modern science has to say about this. So there was a man who was diagnosed with a degenerative collagen disease. His name was Norman Cousins. This is in the 1970s, and he had a severe life-threatening disease of connective tissue called degenerative collagen illness. In 1964, he was hospitalized in severe pain, high fever, and almost paralyzed with the neck, the legs, and the back. And he was unable to move, he says. And so this was brought on by stress. And so he theorized. He said, okay, if this is brought on by stress, what if I had to reverse that? Would my disease reverse? And so he put himself onto a program of laughing. Okay, he took, I don't know if he read the Bible, he probably did, but he went into a laughter therapy campaign, and he got hold of as many candid camera videos that he could get hold of in those days, and reading funny books and stories and the Marx Brothers. And so he went on a program of this. And you know what? He had remarkable recovery. You could read about it. And so this life-changing event for him opened up a second career for the man in lifestyle medicine, and how the mind-body connection is very important in medical affairs. That's where we get the term psychosomatic. Psycho meaning from Greek psyche, so that's the mind, how you think, and soma is body, so psychosomatic diseases or illnesses are mind-body, where the mind and the body is linked. The NIH, I went onto their website and I typed in laughter therapy, and I got all of these results here. Okay, so it's definitely a thing. They even have a definition for it. So the National Cancer Institute of the NIH says this: laughter therapy is a type of therapy that uses humor to help relieve pain, stress, and improve a person's sense of well-being. It may be used to help people cope with a serious disease such as cancer. Laughter therapy may include laughter exercises, clowns and comedy movies, books, games, puzzles. It's a type of complementary therapy, also called humor therapy. Now, isn't that interesting? And have a look at this Science Daily. Laughter remains good medicine. And it says here, more on the mind-emotion disease model. A new study finds that mirthful laughter coupled with standard diabetic treatment raises good cholesterol and may lower heart attack risk. Now, they did a study. Have a look at this. This is a retirement or nursing home. And the effect of laughter therapy on the quality of life of nursing home residents. Okay, this was done a few years ago. The Department of Public Health Nursing, Ankara, Turkey, to evaluate the effect of laughter therapy on quality of life of nursing home residents. After 21 days of laughter therapy, they had improved mobility, decreased pain, increased general health, increased vitality, and increased social functioning. And their conclusion, this is a science document there, laughter therapy improved the quality of life of the nursing home residents. Therefore, nursing home management should integrate laughter therapy into healthcare, and laughter therapy should be as a routine nursing intervention. Isn't that amazing? They're saying it should be part of so if you have an elderly friend or a parent or grandparent who's in a nursing home, do them a favor and read them some funny stories, or tell them some jokes, or get them to watch some funny YouTube videos with you, or something that's really going to make them laugh, and it's just going to make such a difference to these lovely old people that live there, right? So make your difference. What about this one here? For atopic dermatitis, the skin, right? So they did this experiment, and the results: significant physiological response, increased IgA levels, that's your immune system, and lowered stress in these people. Okay, school-age children with atopic dermatitis. Okay, I chose different ones to show the scope of the effects. It's not just very limited. Cancer, the big one. Laughter and stress relief in cancer patients. A pilot study. Okay, this is 2015. A study on breast cancer patients to examine the effect of therapeutic laughter on anxiety, depression, and stress. Laughter therapy on 62 patients. And they had 4 sessions of 1 hour each. Okay, periods of loud, prolonged laughter. Okay, and this is what they found. The stress levels of breast cancer patients could be reduced after a single TLP session. This is therapeutic laughter program session, TLP. Okay, after one single session, they said it can be reduced, their stress. As the number of laughter sessions attended increased, the NRS scores for anxiety, depression, and stress decreased significantly. Laughter therapy can be recommended as a first-line complementary alternative therapy for cancer patients. What about this year? Laughter therapy on immune responses for postpartum women, also 2015. So what they're going to do is they're going to measure the IgA levels in the breast milk of mothers that have just given birth, right? And so the results, the SIgA significantly differed between the experimental and the control groups. So the conclusion was, a postpartum laughter program can be applied as a complementary and alternative intervention for postpartum women in transitional mother-infant care. Right, very important. Now, you know, they didn't test the T cells, they didn't test the NK cells, the natural killer cells, etc. But if your IgA levels in your immune system are higher, there's a good chance all those other immune cells would also be higher, which would then increase your cancer-fighting ability in your body. And so this is why we see positive responses in a story I'll show you just now. What about this on the relationship between happiness and health? Just general happiness and health. And they were saying happiness is found to be the best predictor of health in all stages of the analysis. So they went into, you know, the state of happiness, that people had before they went into operations or surgery and so forth, you know, before they got sick, as a predictor at how well they would recover after the operation or after hospitalization. And it says it is the best predictor of health in all stages. Isn't that amazing? Helps with your recovery. Scientific conclusions about laughter therapy. All right. Physiologically improves atopic dermatitis. It increases immunity. It reduces stress, anxiety, and depression in cancer patients. It increases mobility, reduced pain, better social interactions for the elderly. Increased mobility, that is important for the elderly, right? Where they, you know, their joints and they're being able to move and get around. And also that future studies should be done. Now, you know, this is a huge field that has opened up since Norman Cousins in the 70s. And so there's books been written on this. You can go to Amazon. Here's one here, Laughter and Humor. And she says one of the best methods for stress and relief is to simply laugh more. Here's another book, The Healing Power of Humor. All right. Here's another one, Laughter Therapy. So you go and do your research. There's probably even more now out there. That old book, the Bible, 3,000 years old. And it was telling us this way before science discovered it. But let's carry on having a look at other evidences. So here we have the therapeutic value of laughter in medicine. The objective is this review is to identify, critically evaluate, and summarize the laughter literature across a number of fields as to what extent it actually has health benefits, supported by empirical evidence. Okay. Conclusion: laughter is shown to have all these benefits here, quality of life, etc. What we've mentioned is practically lacking in contraindications. This is the problem with drugs. Every drug has a side effect. If you're diabetic, you know, you have a higher chance of heart disease, with diabetes. And now you're taking a drug which is increasing your risk of heart disease. You know, if you can improve your lifestyle, that you don't have to take that, you'll be doing a lot better. So this is the challenge with all drugs, is that there's always side effects. And they're saying here that's one of the beauties of this, is it doesn't have a side effect. Right, this is important here. It says, although there's not enough data to demonstrate that laughter is an all-round healing agent, this review that it concludes that there is sufficient evidence to suggest that laughter has some positive quantifiable effects on certain aspects of health. So the study was on the impact of laughter therapy on immunological improvement on patients with gastrointestinal cancer undergoing surgery and chemotherapy. All right, so they had cancer and they had surgery, and they had chemotherapy, and then obviously have the control and intervention groups. Now, conclusion: patients with advanced cancer have low immunity, which is further decreased with surgery or chemotherapy. That is true. If you're having chemotherapy, it completely wipes out your immune system, which therefore wipes out your ability to fight cancer. Chemotherapy patients who undertook the laughter therapy using the Smile Sun methodology during treatment in the hospital showed significantly higher immune levels. Significantly higher immune levels. The results of this study indicate that patients with gastrointestinal cancer who undergo laparoscopic surgery and chemotherapy for stomach or colorectal cancer benefit from a formal program of psychotherapeutic support during the inpatient hospital stay of immunological improvement. Okay, just speak English. What they're saying is, yes, definitely, intervention laughter therapy helps these people. The results was interesting. It says here, with the intervention of laughter therapy, the immunity of patients with surgery had either decreased or was the same. However, with intervention of laughter therapy using the Smile Sun method, the immunity of chemotherapy patients increased. So even while they are having chemotherapy, the immunity increased, notably in patients with colorectal cancer. That is astounding, that even while they were undergoing chemotherapy, the immune system increased. Wow, that's fascinating. A case of laughter therapy that helped improve advanced gastric cancer. All right, so there's one case that they look at here. We have a reported case of a patient diagnosed with advanced gastric cancer at the age of 88 years old. Okay, so she revealed type 2 gastric cancer, like a square inch in the lesser curvature of the middle stomach. Considering the patient's age and a design not to receive cancer patient, we prescribed laughter therapy as recommended by the Society for Healing Environment. Aha moment. The program was implemented in a laughter-inducing environment and consisted of 5 stages, okay, improving her condition, increase her joy of living, etc. 1 year and 7 months later, now remember she's 88 years old, an endoscopy of the lesser curvature of the middle stomach indicated the lesions clearly improved with a morphological reduction into those IACA masses. A tissue biopsy revealed that the nucleus abnormality clearly improved from the initial diagnosis, with no irregularity in size. She didn't have the chemotherapy. She's 88 years old. And 18 months later, she's improved. The suspected lesion was localized to a limited area of the stomach wall. Although partial gastric adenocarcinoma was suspected, the cancers turned into gastric adenoma, atrophic gastritis, and enteroepithelium, metaplastic carcinoma. What a mouthful. Now, 5 years after the initial diagnosis, she maintains a good condition. Wow. Wow. Laughter, one of our casual behaviors, has the effect of reducing stress experienced by human body. Laughter is expected to become an alternate medicine in the future, and we hope to see more reports and evidence on soothing therapies into laughter. This was 2010. This is old. Okay, so there's so much information out there, friends. Stress throws out your blood sugars. So if you can counteract stress, you'll really be helping yourself as a diabetic. And this is why it says here, laughter therapy in diabetics. Okay, I don't even know how to say this word. Gelotology, or the science of laughter, is developing as a complementary field of medicine. Laughter therapy has been shown to have multifaceted physiological and endocrine benefits. Okay, so if it shows an endocrine benefit, it's also showing immune benefits, but an endocrine benefit, remember, insulin is a hormone, and endocrine is another name for hormone. So if it's going to help your hormones, it's going to help with your insulin. Can you see it goes from skin to cancer to diabetes? Laughter therapy is completely, it's an overhaul of the entire body. It really helps in so many different areas of your body. So Norman Cousins really opened up a whole field which was there thousands of years in the Bible. Now, I'm going to post a sequel video to this, some things that maybe you can chuckle at, and I hope that you're going to enjoy those. I was going to do it now, but I know the video is going a bit long. So let's just conclude this one here with a few slides. Does God have a sense of humor? Well, when he said to Abraham, hey, you're going to have a child, Abraham was an old man already, And so he thought he had to get together with Hagar because Sarah was not able to have children. Then when he was 100 years old, he actually has the promised son Isaac. And because they laughed when Abraham was 90 and 99 and Sarah was at 90, and God came down and he spoke to him and said, no, you're going to have a son, the two of you. And so she laughed, and God said, you're going to call his name Laughter, Isaac. So yeah, Isaac means laughter. And I find that very significant. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast. See what God's word says about this. It says, every day is a terrible day for a miserable person, but a cheerful heart has a continual feast. Don't you love that? You might know one of those people. It's a good reason not to be one of those people, right? Those people that look like they've been sucking on lemons all day. No, we want to be happy, and then every day is a blessing. And this is our one here. A cheerful disposition, or merry heart does good like medicine. But a broken spirit dries the bones. That's the second half of that message. So that is the opposite. If we have a burden of sins and of guilt that are really overwhelming, we need to dump those. We need to confess and get rid of those sins and get peace with God, because those sins weigh heavily on us. So we need to confess and put them on the Lamb of God and get rid of those sins. And then that burden just gets lifted off our shoulders. Okay? Because if we don't, that broken spirit will dry up the bones. And the bones is where, the bone marrow is where your white blood cells comes from. So, dried bones is an indication also, obviously death, but it's also, low immune system if you have dry bones. And Paul writes as well, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be of any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. Friends, we are living in really, really weird times. We're living in end days. I really do believe that. But we're living in a time of massive change around the world on every front. Paul is telling us here, whatsoever things are lovely and of a good report. Somebody has done something good, just go and say, hey, I heard that lovely report. Well done. I'm proud of you. Think on these things. That's going to give us that merry heart, and that's going to definitely be medicine. And we all can do with that good medicine. So the mind-body connection is also here in 3 John 1:2. My dear friend, I pray that everything may go well with you and that you may be in good health. That's your body. As I know you are well in spirit. That is your mind. Okay, there's the mind-body connection. And, a little bit of caution here as well. We don't want to be one of those jokers that's always around joking, never take life seriously. Most people don't have this problem, but, every now and then you get one of these people that just can't be serious. So to everything, there's a season, a time to weep and a time to laugh. We don't want to be laughing at the wrong time. Things are serious or someone's just passed away. We don't want to be, making jokes and being insensitive, of course. So the Bible was first telling us that a merry heart does good like medicine over 3,000 years ago. And today science is confirming that. So we know that we can trust the word of God. We know that God's word is true. And we know who came first. So my conclusion here is God gave us humor to be a blessing for our health. He explained these things thousands of years ago, and he wishes for us to be in good health. So let's laugh more. We read the Bible, and we look for more wisdom, and we look for more advice, and we look for more gems that science today is catching up and confirming that actually God is right many, many, many years ago. Friends, thanks for watching this video, and I pray it's been a blessing. God bless you.